Hello everyone, it's Caitlin, your geeky girlfriend, back again for another episode in my Real Talk movie review series. Before we get started in today's video, this one is going to be a shocker for many of you, I can guarantee, but before we get into it, hit that red button if you want to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for being here, and let me know in the comments what you want me to watch and review next. I will tell you before we get into this video that I have several movies that are in progress, like I've started them but haven't finished them, so just be ready for a lot more of these videos coming at you very soon. Now, I've talked about before in this channel and on this series that I am a big 80s movie buff. I love all of John Hughes's movies, love the 80s movies, love the 80s in general, and today's video is on an 80s movie that shockingly I had never seen. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Top Gun, and not Top Gun Maverick, not the new one. I'm talking about the 1986 version featuring young Tom Cruise and the original Top Gun movie. My mother is a huge Top Gun lover, huge Tom Cruise fan, and almost disowned me when I told her I had never watched this movie. And my husband is really, really excited to see Maverick, and I felt like I needed to watch the first one, which I had never seen, to be able to enjoy Maverick. So we watched it probably a month ago, and now here we are. I'm just now getting around to recording these videos, but let's get into my thoughts about it. And some of you may be very shocked and disappointed to hear my whole review, but if you're watching this video, that probably means that you are like me and have never watched this iconic classic with probably one of the most iconic soundtracks ever. Danger Zone, hello, can we talk about that? The only reason the only thing I knew about this movie prior to watching it was that Danger Zone and Tom Cruise were in this movie. So that tells you that. The premise is that Tom Cruise plays Maverick, a young naval, he's like a naval air aviator, an Air Force aviator. He's a pilot for the U.S. Army or military. And he gets recruited, him and his partner Goose, who you can see in the top center picture, get recruited to go to this elite flying school called Top Gun, where they compete to be like the world's best fighter pilot. Him and Goose compete together. So the whole movie just shows them at this new school, learning all these different tricks, flying in all these different little competitions. Like they're trying to win this prize, right? So they do different little races and challenges against other fighter pilot teams. And of course, there's like some little duels and some little drama between some of the other characters. But they are trying to be best pilot. And if you get the number one award and you get best pilot, then you can be a instructor at Top Gun. You can get leniency out of your service, and you can stop being in competitive or combative flying and just be an instructor. So those are kind of some of the perks that they're working for, is they won't have to fly against enemies anymore. There is a little bit of a love story in this film. You can see his girlfriend up there in the top left. She plays, I forget her name. She is a very well-known actress. I just can't think of her name right now. But she plays some official for the Department of Defense, some secretary, some office. And she and Maverick kind of start to have a little bit of a thing. And so you've got that romantic drama part as well. And yeah, that's essentially the whole movie. They are pilots, they get recruited, and they're trying to be the best pilot in the world. And Tom Cruise does Tom Cruise-y things like stunts and motorcycle rides, and Tom Cruise just does Tom Cruise. The pros of this movie were the soundtrack. It has, like I said, probably one of the most iconic soundtracks in a movie ever. And Danger Zone, I swear to you, plays 5 times in the film, but you don't even care because it's just so good and it's so epic. And Tom Cruise is good in this film. Like I said, he does Tom Cruise-y things. He looks good. He acts good. He does, he makes everything look good because he's Tom Cruise and that's what he does. But I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan. Honestly, I like other actors better, but I do like his earlier stuff, like the Mission Impossibles. And I liked Risky Business. I thought that was a cute movie. This movie was we'll see what my score was. But I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan. Like, I will watch Tom Cruise movies, but I don't go to the movies to see a Tom Cruise movie, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like I watched this movie just because it's a Tom Cruise movie. I watched it because I'm looking forward to watching Maverick, because everybody's been talking about it. The cons. I personally had a loss of continuity in this movie. I could not for the life of me figure out what the timeline was. I couldn't for the life of me figure out how old Tom Cruise was supposed to be. And like details like that really make a difference when I'm watching a movie, because I watch a movie from a very professional standpoint most of the time. So like the first thought that went through my head was, isn't this woman supposed to be technically his supervisor? And isn't that like not okay in terms of like all the sexual harassment stuff and like all of that? And I was like, this should not be okay. Like, why is she this is he supposed to be like her employee? Is she supposed to be a supervisor? Is it not like that? So I was like really confused there. But then also I was confused like the timeline. How much time passes in this movie? Like, how long are they on the boat in the beginning? How long are they at Top Gun? How long until the very end of the movie when he finally like he goes and fights? He like takes his jet and fights, and he has a new partner. And spoiler, like how long does this whole movie take? And when I asked my parents, I was like, how long does this movie take? Like, what is the timeline here? Is this a year? Is this 2 years? How much time has passed? They were like, it doesn't matter, just watch the movie. And I'm like, I can't watch the movie if I don't know these details. Like, I get lost and I get so hung up on like how much time is passing. And especially like if we go back to the relationship in the movie, like he leaves or she leaves, she takes another position, he goes and fights, comes back. How much time is that? Like, you're telling, like, what? So anyway, I really struggled with the continuity of this film, and there was a lot of unknown details that I really needed to know. And then this movie's sad, and I wasn't expecting it to be sad. There's a very tragic accident that happens in the film, and I was not expecting it at all, and it really just put like a downer on the whole movie, and it was not, I was not okay. And then also another pro is there are some really iconic lines. Like, can we talk? I feel the need for speed. Talk to me, Goose. Like, those are pretty iconic. And I didn't put that in here, but I'm just thinking of it now as I'm sitting here. And so this movie has some iconic pop culture references and taglines that have lived on way past this film's time. And obviously it got a major blockbuster, huge opening weekend sequel with Top Gun Maverick, and you guys can expect a video of that very soon. Overall, I'm gonna give Top Gun a C+. My mother would probably disown me, but this movie was just okay. Like, I liked it. It was fine, but I didn't love it. Like, I was sort of confused when watching it. It was kind of sad. Yeah, I'll go see the sequel, sure, and there's a good chance I'll like the sequel better than the original, but I don't know if it's just because I watched it like way after its prime. Like, the one we watched, like, we don't have this movie on DVD, so we streamed it, and it was like the quality wasn't great, and I was like, and I'm not usually picky about those things. Like I said, Tom Cruise was fine. It's got some iconic lines that now I can say I know. I've seen the movie. I can quote the movie. You know, I know what it's from. Got an iconic soundtrack. But overall, I was just kind of like, it was okay. Like, it was not this huge, amazing thing that I was expecting. It was just okay. So I give it a C+. Like I said, I'm very excited to watch the sequel. I will be seeing the sequel very soon, hopefully. So you guys can look forward to that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're like me and have never seen Top Gun, then this video is for you. And I recommend watching it. I mean, it's one that I think everybody should see at one point in their life, especially if you want to see Maverick. But for me, it was just okay. But subscribe if you like these videos, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.